More than 1400 years ago, in a land of hot sand and burning sun, a very painful story happened. It is the story of Karbala. It is a story that still makes hearts cry, because it is not just about a fight. It is about love, faith, sacrifice, and standing for what is right, even if it costs everything. The hero of this story is Hussain. Hussain was not an ordinary man. He was the beloved grandson of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the last messenger of God. Hussain grew up in the arms of the Prophet. The Prophet would hug him, kiss him, and say, "Hussain is from me, and I am from Hussain." Imagine how close he was to the Prophet's heart. Years later, after the Prophet had left this world, many things changed. People who loved power started to rule. A man named Yazid became the new leader, but Yazid did many things against Islam. He drank wine, he was unjust to people, he did not care about the poor, and he broke the rules of God. Still, he wanted everyone to accept him as the ruler. So Yazid sent a message to Hussain. He wanted Hussain to give him loyalty, to show the world that Yazid was right. But how could Hussain do that? How could he give his hand to someone who was destroying the teachings of his beloved grandfather? At the same time, people from a city called Kufa wrote letters to Hussain. They begged him to come and guide them. They promised they would stand with him. Hussain did not want war. He only wanted to keep Islam pure, just as his grandfather had taught. So he began a long journey from his home in Medina to Kufa. He took his family with him, his brothers, his young sons, his nephews, even tiny children. They carried tents, little bags of food, and the hope that the people of Kufa would help them. But Yazid found out. He sent thousands of soldiers to block Hussein's way. When Hussain reached a place called Karbala, Yazid's army surrounded him. They camped there with swords and spears, stopping Hussain from moving forward. Then came something even harder to bear. Yazid's soldiers cut off the water. Can you imagine? The hot sun burned above them, the sand burned below them, and there was no water for Hussein's family, not even for the little children. The children began to cry from thirst. Their small lips cracked, their faces turned pale. They would come to their mothers saying, "Mother, I am thirsty," but there was nothing to give them. Still, Hussain stayed patient. He did not give in to Yazid. He prayed to Allah, and he held tightly to the truth. Then, on the 10th day of the month of Muharram, called Ashura, Yazid's army attacked. Hussein's companions were so few, but they went out one by one to protect Hussain. Each knew he would die, but still he went. Hussein's young son, Ali Akbar, full of life and beauty, went to fight. When he fell, Hussain ran to him, held him in his arms, and cried, "My son, after you, what joy is left for me?" Hussein's brother Abbas was so brave. He tried to get water for the thirsty children. He rode to the river, filled a water skin, but on the way back, he was attacked. They cut off his arms. Still, he tried to carry the water, but they struck him on the head and he fell. The water spilled on the sand. Abbas died, whispering, "Forgive me, my brother. I could not bring water to the children." Finally, there was no one left. Hussain stood alone. He looked around and saw the empty ground, filled with his loved ones who had fallen. Then he went to the battlefield. Tired, thirsty for 3 days, covered in wounds, he still fought bravely. But Yazid's soldiers surrounded him from all sides. They struck him again and again, until Hussain fell to the ground. As he lay on the hot sand, he called out to Allah, "O Allah, accept this from me." Then they ended his blessed life. His head was cut from his body. The grandson of the Prophet was martyred on that cruel day. After this, Yazid's soldiers burned the tents. The women and children ran in fear. They were crying, with no one to help them. They were taken as prisoners, made to walk from Karbala to Kufa, and then all the way to Yazid's palace in Damascus. Their hearts were broken, and their eyes filled with tears. But Allah does not let wrongdoers succeed for long. Yazid died just a few years later, suddenly and without honor. People did not respect him, and his power soon ended. It was as if Allah showed the world that no cruelty lasts forever. Today, millions of people around the world remember Hussain every year, especially on Ashura. They cry for him, they remember his courage, his patience, and his love for the truth. They feel sad, but they also feel inspired to stand up for what is right. May Allah be pleased with Hussain and his family. May Allah give us hearts that love justice, truth, and faith, just like Hussain did.